Good morning, Brother Arlie.
Huh?
How you doing with all the caffeine there? Huh?
Oh, man, I am so happy to be here today.
With your vibrant toothpaste teeth and just gleaming in the sections of Maui?
Well, what about your rosy cheeks? Let's talk about your rosy cheeks, man.
Before we talk about rosy cheeks, we're here for a spectacular episode.
Aren't we?
We got Brother Dave, the owner of Cafe Cafe Lahainaluna, the number one coffee in the world. Brother Dave, welcome.
Welcome,
How
Brother
you
Dave.
doing? Hey, I want to make a correction all this. You know, I thought you were a professional here, Bri.
No, we're not. We're not.
No, I'm joking, but because you are professional. But we're on Lahainaluna. Yeah, down in Lahaina.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, hold on. We're not going to get that. Wait, Arlie.
Yes.
While he's making that, the steam not going to get the thing to.
There shouldn't be any. Is it steaming up? Or?
The drywall may fall. It may come down on us, but you know what?
It's okay.
We'll
I
put this
think
right
we're
here.
willing to chance it for this episode.
Okay. So yeah, Brother Dave, let's
Okay.
let's start from wherever.
Yeah. So
what's
what
happening?
We're gonna talk about football, right?
Yeah.
Football and coffee and the New England
Because
Patriots.
there's something going on tomorrow. I heard there's some little game happening
I know.
tomorrow.
Oh, man,
The
really?
AFC.
I haven't been paying attention.
You know,
to
I'll
that.
tell you, it's weird though. I haven't really been watching football.
Yeah,
I got to
me
admit, I
too.
just haven't for a lot of different
Yeah.
reasons. But I've just been like, I don't know.
It's not about Tom Brady, right?
No.
Okay. We keep it.
Okay, so Brian, Dave, you guys have a little history. You
Yeah,
guys
a long
met with it.
relationship. Yes.
And this is my first time meeting you. Thank you
Good
for
to meet
coming
you.
to the
RiFF Maui Wailuku.
But Brian speaks highly of you.
very freaking highly.
And we've
Yeah.
been trying to get you on the show for a while, but
Months,
we know
months.
you're a busy guy.
Very busy.
No, it's great to be here. Yeah.
And
thank
the
you.
reason why you're busy is because of what you do. Could you tell the
world, man.
Tell the
Yeah.
world. I mean, what do you do? What are you doing
it's
right
crazy.
now on Maui?
I thought I was going to come here and retire. I mean, that's really kind
That's
of
what you said. Yeah.
way out. It was
Yeah.
like quasi-retirement. It's like, I'm done with Silicon Valley. I'm just going to go chill out on Maui and surf and, buy a little coffee shop and talk to people and hang out. And it didn't turn out like that.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest things I've done, just trying to keep a business rolling here.
But the Silicon Valley thing, that you gave me that in a nutshell. You had a long stint in Silicon Valley when you was kind of upbringing into.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I went to Silicon Valley basically out of the Marine Corps. So I joined the Marine Corps, and then that was right after they invented the wheel. So it's
So like a little while ago.
a little while ago.
Yeah.
But I was in Silicon Valley for like 30, 35 years. I mean, a long time.
Wow.
And there was a show called *Halt and Catch Fire* that was on like AMC or something a while back. And people were like, dude, you need to really go watch this movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or watch this show. It's like some sort of a one of these series. And I was like, nah, Silicon Valley. I know what it's going to be like. I didn't want to do it, right? But then I caught one of the episodes somehow, and I was like, oh my god! And it was the whole show was really during the time that I came to Silicon Valley and was there. So I call it the golden years, and it was really cool. I mean, just this time when we were changing the world, and Steve Jobs, and way before the iPhone. We're talking.
So
Lisa
way before
and
Steve
Macintosh.
Jobs, then.
Well, I was right around
that.
Steve. I've actually met Steve a couple of times, and he's as big an a-hole as everyone said.
Yeah.
No, I heard
the
that.
stories.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even know. He wouldn't have known who I was. At the end of the day, if I met him 15 years later, he'd be like, maybe I remember you.
But you talked to him.
Oh yeah. Talked to him a couple of different times, and he actually was doing a presentation at the. So I was in optical character recognition for a while. I mean, over those years, I was in so many different technologies. But one of those chapters was optical character recognition. And,
Nice.
How's that?
Oh no, that's great. That's almost like my laptop can recognize me by my fingerprint.
Yeah, it's a lot like that.
Oh
So
wow,
it's a
you
similar-
did your reading. I like that.
Yeah, it's a
man.
similar
Yeah.
technology in terms of the network that usually we would have like a neural network that kind of learns as it goes. So anyway, yada yada yada. But I'm in the Apple Evangelist Center. So I'm actually, this is when they had these two little towers and there was a bridge across the 8th floor. So I'm in there talking about OCR, and I'm like and this was like black art magic. This was amazing. You would stick something into a scanner basically, but it was some box. You'd put a piece of paper in there, and out would pop on the screen would be it would type it in for you.
It's like Matrix.
Oh my God, it was cool, right? So anyway, Steve comes in and thinks it's kind of neat, and we talk for a little while. So that was kind of cool. But
it's
anyway,
like sorcery at the early stages of technology, sorcery, where they combined and they met.
It's weird. It's like over those years that I was there, it always seemed like I was on the cutting or the bleeding edge, if you will, of technology.
The bleeding edge.
Yeah, and it would be like we'd be working on stuff that hadn't really been introduced yet.
Wow.
And it was all really kind of fun.
And it was happening
I
right
thought it
before your
was, I
very
don't
eyes.
know.
It was happening all before your very eyes.
Yeah.
You guys are like the Area 51 in Silicon Valley.
Funny enough, you say that. There were a lot of skunk works going on. It was very secretive. People didn't, you didn't talk about what you were doing. I mean, you'd talk within your own group, but you'd write a business plan out on a napkin and, over a cup of coffee and then you'd take it and wad it up and throw it away. Yeah, because you didn't want anyone to know.
Well, you didn't want anybody to know what you were up to, but also if you had a great idea, that would solidify your finance, whatever you're doing. And did that kind of move into? How did that move into coffee?
Yeah, weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, so
extremes,
I tried to. I tried to quit working a couple of times. So I was about 38, 39, 40, somewhere around there, and I won't tell the long story. Brian's heard these, so I don't want to bore the guy.
No. Because he got...
Yeah, well, because our subscribers haven't heard the story.
Yeah.
The super short version, because we've talked, over coffee about everything from,
everything for everything.
Well, we need to condense it into a 2-hour show today. So.
Okay, well, I think I could do that.
But then, but
I know I'm like a wallflower, and I really don't talk that much. I apologize.
This guy.
But anyway, so the short version is, let me see, around 38, 39, 40, have had a couple of successes under my belt and was working for a pretty large company. And I was a senior vice president and reported to the CEO. It was about a 4,000 person company. And anyway, yada, yada, merger happens. They want me to move to New York. I'm going to need to get rid of half my team and bring about 80% from the other folks that we're merging with. And I could read the tea leaves, and I was just like, I don't think I want to do this. So I had a 6-month severance in place, and I said, "Thank you guys. I'm going to take my money that I'm going to get over the next 6 months for not doing anything, and I'm going to go see the biggest effing mountain in the world." So I packed my bags and packed my backpack and flew to Kathmandu and got out of the airplane and was like, "Where's Everest? Where is it?"
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow,
so
you didn't even tell me that story.
I didn't.
No.
That's great. That's like
wow.
But yeah, and I was only going to be gone for a couple of months. I thought, I'll take off for a couple of months. I'll go back to Silicon Valley. I'll find something. Someone will.
So you hiked Everest?
I didn't. Oh yeah, I went to Everest. I used to lead trips to Everest. I actually would take.
So what?
Not up Everest, but
to what?
Everest.
Was that level 1? Like 8? There's one at 18,000 elevation.
Yeah, it's like 7. You got stages at 17.
Stages,
18.
Camp 1, Camp 2.
I have been up to Camp 1 though, so I've been
Camp
through
1.
the Khumbu ice field, which is
holy shit,
gnarly. But I didn't get anything.
You know how much the trekkers make up there? Like the guys who, the guys that carry that's a trekker.
I don't really know
Oh.
who support the whole team going up.
But it's like, is it $60,000 to go on that mountain?
It's about it's more now. It was when I
because it was 60 in the 90s.
When I was about 20 years ago, it was like 60.
Yeah, because that was one of my bucket lists way back. It's like, man, I want to do Everest.
I would have liked to have done it. Now I'm too old, but it would have been cool to do that.
Sometimes just go up to like Camp 1. That's good enough. Or Camp 2.
Oh my God, that was
18,000 feet.
That was amazing.
So it is pretty treacherous and life-threatening to do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it is.
Okay.
I
figured.
He said it nice. Yeah. You can get freeze. You can't have fingers. You can't play guitar. You can't play G major 7.
But I think actually the two, and I haven't been past Camp 1, so I can't say this for sure. But the two most dangerous sections, I think, of the climb is getting up to Camp 1, going through the Khumbu ice field. Pretty dangerous because you're going they had an avalanche not too long ago, and a bunch of people got taken out.
So very
then
important
the
to have
final step.
very important to have the quality crew and the locals there to kind of go.
Without a doubt.
I don't think we
Without a
should
doubt.
go today.
No, you.
But I'm here
and
now.
you can't
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
coffee too
Well,
because
there's-
you're gonna melt the ice and you can fall in the hole. You know that, right?
Is that
Arlie,
true?
no,
Dave?
that is.
Are you just
no,
making that up?
No,
Dave's
You read
smiling.
it in
So
a book
check.
somewhere.
Jennifer.
well, I got a book too, and it talks about the abdominal snowman.
You know, abdominal or abdominal.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? No joking.
It's funny. You're talking now about my workout routine. I'm going for that. I'm going for that look. Right now, I have that hamster look.
You say you're going for the hamster look with the big
Yeah.
trap on one side and a cyclops eye.
Wait. Okay, so we're in
Okay, we got-
So anyway,
wait, hold on.
so that,
Yeah.
that, that
Okay.
we got
Can-
derailed. But
Yeah, sorry
anyway,
about that.
this
Yeah.
whole thing about doing this and doing that and taking off from technology. Then
Right.
I got sucked back in.
Right.
And then after a while, I was like, gosh, here I am. They brought me back in. So that's when I said, I'm moving to the middle of the Pacific.
So you went from West Coast, East Coast to Equator, Hawaii,
I didn't
right?
really go to the East Coast, but I
on the eastern side, like
basically from Silicon Valley, I just said, I got to get out of here. It's driving me crazy.
35 years in Silicon Valley.
Something like that. Over 30. Over 30.
That's a good stint. That's like a good
But-
time spent in any kind of
Well,
area.
I wouldn't change anything. It was
yeah.
amazing.
you were saying in a
kind
nutshell, tell that brother Arlie know that you stayed there, and everybody was like, "Wow, you staying here, and why don't you just go?" And you just kept staying there, right? What is that part that you told me that you just kind of you want to hang out there, and you just all this high executive guys took you in and whatever. What was that?
Are you? You're not talking about my windsurfing, kitesurfing days, are you?
No.
Wait a minute.
You overstayed
I know
yourself.
what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is something
I
different.
tripped out when you told me
this
that one,
is
man.
This is something completely different.
The
and it
onion
was-
is
it
getting
was-
peeled to like all kinds of directions.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Well, let me get my
That's
pomade
all right.
to
It
put
all
your.
comes back to coffee.
Yeah, it comes back
All
to
roads
It feels
lead
yeah.
to
It's
coffee.
the humor
Good.
is.
I feel like I'm watching a Forrest Gump show.
Going.
Well, I'm about as dumb as Forrest Gump.
No, I mean, but
What is that?
no,
You like
but I
that
told
phrase?
you.
You like that phrase? Bag of hammers.
Yeah.
About as
Oh, I
smart
love-
as a bag of hammers.
I like
That's
that.
me.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
to interrupt. So
No, please.
Okay,
No,
so
you didn't.
No.
So how'd you,
Don't say sorry, man. You're sorry for nothing.
technology, Kathmandu,
Yeah.
back.
Kahalui,
Back to
Wailuku.
technology.
All right. So where are we now, Dave?
Well, so what happened was I just said, gosh, I'm right back into technology. So for a short while after I traveled, so this 2-month trip that I was going to be gone turned into me traveling literally all over the world for about 2.5 years.
Holy
So
man, that's
my 2-month
brother
trip.
Dave, man. He's the traveling man.
It was weird.
How fun.
But
I love
after that, then I came back to Silicon Valley and was kind of hanging out, and it's hey, let's go have a lunch. Let's go have a lunch, and martini here, martini there. After about a month, my friends were like, dude, would you quit asking me out to? I gotta work, man. And so I ran out of friends to go have lunch with, and
You wasn't a
lunches.
party animal, right?
Nah, yeah. But anyway, so that's when I kind of thought, you know what? And a lot of folks were saying, dude, you went all over what's your favorite place, this and that. But what I did was I started taking friends on trips. Like we went down to Carnival, and a friend of mine was friends of Wendy Fitzwilliams, who was Miss Universe of, I don't know, 19 something.
He was a bodyguard for her. or
Well,
something?
no, but we started doing these cool trips, and then people like, dude, I heard you went to Nepal. Yeah, I've been to Nepal a few times, and I actually over the course of me going, I met some local folks, and we built some schools and did some philanthropic things. That was all really cool, and so then I started this thing. It was just more to take my friends places, but it was called Off the Rails, and we would go travel and do these really cool trips, and then have
Off
some
the Rails.
philanthropic
I like
component.
that.
at
And you
the
were
end.
I like that.
you were kind of like the host, the
Yeah,
leader.
I
It's
was the
like,
dude
come
who knew-
follow me.
Yeah, so if it was a bunch
How
of
fun.
guys, it's just this debauchery. It would just
Right.
be like, there's no way you could find, like Rick Steves did not do these kind of trips.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were other trips where it'd be couples and this and that, and we'd do wine tasting or what have you. So it just depended on who the crew
You know what?
was.
You're
was awesome.
putting something in my head right
Well,
now.
yeah, because I'm thinking that if you took us on a little excursion,
Oh no,
Yeah,
I don't
we
want
can
to.
totally
No,
do
I
it.
don't want to take you. No.
that'd be a different kind of
Yeah.
category.
Yeah.
But great. So,
Separate
Okay,
rooms,
so
please.
then I'll wrap it all up. So
What-
then after these little playing around with stuff and then getting involved in technology again, that's when I said, you know what, I think I really got to get away from here. So, and I knew I liked coffee. I didn't really like coffee that much in the U.S., but when I started traveling around, I was like, wow, man, I get it now. You know, Italy, Paris, wherever you are.
That's the best of the best.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like in the wherever. And man, the world had great coffee. And so I just thought, you know what, that'd be a cool industry to get involved in.
Right.
And actually, I thought I was either going to do coffee or microbrewery, one or the other.
Right.
The thing I liked more about coffee was it could work into my travel, passion. And so, because there's all the places where they grow coffee happen to be places I like to travel, and then even if they're not growing coffee in Italy, it's like, wow, there's a reason to go there. I mean, that's a coffee culture. So the places I like to go either have a great coffee culture or they grow coffee. So
when this happened and you had this idea about coffee and that research about going from somebody who didn't really know much other than I drink coffee and it's got caffeine.
I didn't know it.
Going into the deep knowledge and digging down and getting like almost a scientist perspective on coffee, a biologist perspective on how it's grown.
Yeah.
How long did it take you, Wedge, to kind of absorb that information
Let me see.
to be like an expert on coffee?
Well, I don't know if I'm an expert, but it was a steep learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still learning things. There's still stuff that I'm gleaning, if you will, and learning from other folks. So I'm part of the Maui Coffee Association. So I'm acting vice president of the Maui Coffee Association. And most of the folks there are growers and roasters, and I'm more of a purveyor.
Okay.
But I'm really into the brew side of things. I'm really into getting you an amazingly great cup of coffee.
And
now,
the
the growers, they're into getting the roaster an amazing bean.
Oh, okay.
And the roasters are really into getting me really high quality roasted coffee. And then I'm into getting that roasted coffee into something that touches your lips and you're like, whoa.
Yes.
So we've got a bunch of individuals specifying and focusing on a certain aspect of this whole thing called coffee business or growing and everything. And so the relationship between all these different groups of people must be great, and they're your mentors and also people you're learning from.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm an engineer by trade, so I tend to jump into things with both feet. I really get nerdy about whatever I'm doing. If I'm changing, a shock absorber, I'm like, what's the torque? And so it's just stupid.
You really get into
stupid.
it, yeah.
I do.
No, man. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You get obsessed with it and you get good at it.
Yeah,
I totally believe that. Man.
I just really get.
That's a good thing to have. Yeah.
So when thinking about it, going, okay, I'm going to do this. What was the time frame before you opened your doors of Cafe Cafe Maui?
Well, so I ended up buying an ongoing coffee shop.
Okay.
Because I didn't really want to start from scratch, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just had no idea really what to do. So I thought, you know what? If I buy a coffee shop, I can learn about coffee. Mm-hmm. And really the intent was to distribute amazing Hawaiian coffee because it is the best in the world. Mm-hmm. Some of the best. I mean, I don't mean to say it's better than every other coffee, but when you talk about coffees, how they rank throughout the world, Hawaiian coffee is always up there.
Wow.
And it's just amazing.
And we talked about it. It's like it's the soil, it's the air,
the soil, it's the irrigation, it's everything. It's the way the sun comes out, and it's so like intense. And then 4:00 the clouds come in, and then the rain kind of dumps a little bit. It's just this It's like someone really taking care of some awesome weed in Oregon, and they got their lights and they water it at 4:00.
Right.
But nature does it. Nature takes care of these beans without, there's a teeny bit of, husbandry that the growers do.
So if you plant beans, if you're planting in Kona and Maui and Colombia, you can tell. You can but you can say it's safe to say that you can that the soil really matters. Huh?
Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And this volcanic soil is what gives these beans, kind of like wine. When you grow wine, when you grow grapes, depending on where they're grown, what's the is it irrigation or what is it? The drainage, so all these factors matter, and the soil and what's growing, what has grown, like during the off season, like if they, so all these things that they call it the terroir, and the terroir is,
I like that.
It's everything. It's the soil, it's the weather, it's the birds, it's,
Is that
it's
what,
everything.
What is that?
That's a French
Colombian
word.
For probably
Taiwan.
environment or encompassing.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
Taiwan. But without the N, it's Taiwan. Is that ends with a
I'm
vowel?
probably messing.
Wait,
up.
Taiwan. Where's your notepad with your pen? You're supposed to be taking out
No,
notes.
I got it all in there already.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hidden. Yeah, I do like press notes in like a press rows in the dictionary.
My
Are you
gosh.
eating chichidong?
Yeah, you want?
No,
What?
I'm
It
allergic
It
to
does look
soda.
very crunchy.
Yeah, here.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, I don't want
Hey,
to
I
eat.
saw something. I don't know what it was. Not to change the subject,
Yeah.
but there was
No,
some
please.
weird thing. This lady, this lady who does these podcasts, right? Like this. She's got like this microphone, and no, she
How is
eats
this better?
things. she'll eat pickles and
Hey!
stuff.
Sounds like he eats on a mic.
Or she'll click like her fingernails onto things.
Oh, I
yeah,
think I've
it's
seen that.
weird, man.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
audio, like a fetish.
I get, but she's really into the
Yeah.
pickles.
She's-
Really into the
Wait,
pickles.
pickles and
And she has
wait, so
I
try
don't know, it's just
something.
the
Try
sound,
something.
yeah.
Try something. Do it.
She
Do
has
it.
a trippy lighting around her.
Okay,
and
do
she
it.
has a bright red lipstick. And
Okay,
she
do
looks-
it. Do it. Do it. Ooh. You know that's brain food, man. That's
crazy.
brain food, man.
And guys are on the other end like,
Oh, I don't even want to go there, man. I just don't like
Dave,
going.
you know this is so much.
Oh my god.
This is so much fun, but I'm getting thirsty for coffee, man.
oh yeah, how we doing?
Oh no. So how are we doing? So getting flying back to Maui. So now we landed on Maui.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
year was
landed on
that?
Maui. That was let me see. Right after they invented the steam engine. So
I try to be serious. It's like steam engine, locomotive, freaking paper airplanes.
Good one.
What? This guy is witty, huh?
Sorry,
Hey, Arlie,
riding on
tell
my
this guy
horse.
open the door for him already.
oh my god.
No.
But no, it was 4 years ago. 5 years
Four-
ago.
five, okay.
Something like that.
Right,
four,
right.
4 to 5 years ago. And but got involved in the Coffee Association. Those guys are amazing. The Maui Coffee Association, they are amazing.
So the place
awesome.
just fell in your lap right on Dickinson, like
It's not on Dickinson.
Oh, I mean, not
bruh.
Dickinson.
Oh my
Look,
god.
please look
not
up on the
not
screen
Dickinson,
here.
Lahainaluna Road.
Lahainaluna, baby.
No,
There we are.
you know what? Because
Oh, yeah.
when I'm walking
Cafe
around,
Cafe
it's like,
Maui.
oh my god, it's like I get screwed up in the streets. I don't know why.
Well, it's because Lahaina is an extremely complicated town.
So much one ways.
You know,
Luke,
you
you
know,
going this
you
way.
know that street they got along the water? Yeah, they call that Front Street.
And the Luke is back street.
And you know what's on Prison Street?
And
The
oh,
prison.
The prison. Prison.
Nice.
See? See how off the wall? This is great. See, we got an amps here. We're ready to roll.
Love it.
So how's the coffee? I like that, by the way.
thank you.
Coffee's cool. I'm not really brewing it yet. I actually brought how we doing on time?
Oh, we're good.
So I actually
Yeah, we
brought,
don't rush,
I
yeah.
brought some stuff, and one of the things is folks will be they'll come to the cafe and they'll be like, dude, your coffee's so good here.
Everybody says
and
that.
then
Everybody.
sometimes they'll be like, I go home and I can't seem to. It's not.
They
quite
can't
the
get
same.
it.
And I think it might be because they're using a Mr. Coffee or they're using a Keurig or they're
Yes.
doing something.
Yeah.
And those aren't really bad. If you get good coffee beans, just like wine, you try and you take the best winemaker in the world, and you give them amazing grapes, they're going to come up with amazing wine, right? But if you give them crappy grapes, they're gonna you can't make great wine from crappy grapes.
Yeah,
Grapes.
yeah.
Same thing with coffee. You
can use a Mr. Coffee.
kind of need to start off with the beans. So you can take great beans and put it into a Mr. Coffee, put it into a Keurig, and it'll be good. It'll be okay, but it won't be quite the same if you just control the brew. And
So
It's
so
not complicated. It's not
Well,
complicated
coming
at all.
out from
what-
a machine like
yeah.
that, it's your stuff is like it's.
well, what happens is the machines actually are engineered, if you will, designed to work with a certain type of coffee. And Juan Valdez, is the type of coffee. It's just this. It's whatever's you get from Safeway.
that guy's like world renowned.
World
man.
renowned. I'm sure actually Owan has some good coffee. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Let me see. Hold on.
That's right. It's just not. No, it's just hitting my shoulder now.
No.
Yeah.
I kicked it. I'm sorry about that.
Nah, that's no problem. It's only about $8,000 camera.
Yeah.
So I had a quick question.
Are you that quick?
Yeah. So regarding the proper way to make.
Yeah.
So we're looking here at the French press coffee brew calculator.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I had. Yeah. So
Now,
that's on
is
our
this
website.
We did our homework. This guy.
Is this what you're
Nice.
talking about as far as like you have to, at least know a little bit of how to make it at home, versus?
Well, this is just a guide, kind of a guide, because a lot of people are like, I want to make a cup of coffee. How much do I do? Well, you do this much. Or it's like, I'm going to have 4 people over, so I need to make 5 cups of coffee. How much do I do? And so this calculator is just a little something to help people, help them kind of figure out what they want. Now, you may just want 12 ounces or 18 ounces of coffee that you're going to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. So we've got it in ounces. Or, if you're just going to have a couple of, a few smaller cups and you still want to make 18 ounces or whatever, then you just divide it up between the cups. But the reason we went with the ounces in there was so that, if you however many
For the
ounces
Americans.
of fluid you want,
It's not metric.
you need a liter. And then the strength kind of determines kind of if you like your coffee strong or not so strong.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of get that dialed in, and then after that, it just tells you exactly how much coffee to do.
You know what it's missing though?
What's that?
It's missing the eyeball factor. Like when you drink it, you go like this. It's a 10 on the eyeball.
I could add those, right? So I don't know. Was it you, Brian? Was it you came in one day and you just wanted to like I don't know, like a lot of shots? Was it you?
Like a triple shot?
I can't. No, I mean like I don't remember. It was like, hey, I want to get this tones, but I want to. Can you put an extra shot in there? It's like, well, we're already making a quad, man.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's 2 standard shots. The
Brian's
Italians,
strength.
They'd have to go. Wait, hold on. There's a guy who wants a quad shot. It's like,
well, we do quad shots quite a bit, but
please sign here, and
this
here.
individual they wanted another shot, and I said, you know what? I've got the name for that cup of coffee, because there's mocha, there's cappuccino, and we've got the Al Pacino that you like. But I said this one I'm going to call the Lahainaluna Tick, because
I like that.
we're on Lahaina and they're a lunatic.
I like that.
But Brian likes the Al Pacino,
I
which
love
is
it, man.
it's a coffee that is it's known in the industry called a bulletproof coffee, and it's supposed to help your kind of like your thought process and your intensity, and it wakes your brain.
Is that
up.
like the latest and greatest and the hip thing now?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't for the longest time. I really didn't like that. I didn't like it. And I'm one of these guys. Like, and I definitely don't want to upset anybody, but like Mother Maui, she's either gonna accept you or spit you out.
Spit you out,
and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, I get it. I get it. But really, all you got to do is show up for work, and Mother Maui will probably accept you. Get your job done, show up to work when you're supposed to, and Mother Maui's going to wrap her arms around you. But I think a lot of folks who don't show up to work and they get, they end up going back to Alaska or the main, California, where like, well, Mother Maui didn't accept me. It's like, no, you didn't show up for work, dude. That's the reason it ain't working out for you.
Mother Maui didn't embrace me.
Yeah, well, Mother Maui embraced me, so it's all good.
Right on.
But
the Al Pacino, very cool names.
Yeah, the Al Pacino.
Lahainaluna Tick.
I love that,
Is-
man.
That's intense.
So you've got a really creative mind, and I'm looking at your website right now. Aloha in a cup every day. I mean, like things like that.
That's sweet, man.
This, just little things. Like me and B, we're totally into that. Ideas.
Ideas,
phrases,
acronyms,
quotes,
mantras, quotes.
what
Dictionary
else?
of theories.
Yeah,
you
and in your coffee store, you've
Yeah,
got
this is
Hawaiian
the good
specialty
stuff.
coffee. You got Hawaiian coffee blends. You got coffee samples. So how has the
click on
Wow.
click on the specialty coffee. Go-
Okay.
You can drop down into that.
on the specialty coffee? Look at this Secret Santa coffee.
Oh, we need to pull that. We sold out. That was an
Well, no,
that
it says
was-
right here. It
Sold
says
out.
sold out.
yeah.
So what's that?
Oh my God, that's really special. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
A
What's
quick
that?
little thing.
Now,
on
would you
that.
have it again before you talk it up?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we will, but we don't know when or where. I mean,
Okay.
that's the crazy part about this. So, the real short version is I know a grower up country, and these folks will sell these different growers. You know, if they have really high quality coffee that's scored well in the SCAA, which is a Specialty Coffee Association, yada yada. Anyway, some of the best coffee in the world sells for $120 a pound.
Okay.
So, you know, weed's better, but that's a lot of money for
Well, I mean,
coffee,
like,
right?
if you're a coffee drinker, I mean, I am, but I don't understand that. So
Right.
if you make coffee at home, how much will a pound last you? Like a month of coffee in the morning?
It depends. I mean, it really kind of depends. I don't think a pound would last you a month if you're drinking every day.
Oh,
Maybe it lasts 8 hours. That's about it. Maybe.
no, seriously, like about a couple weeks.
I think a pound. You can go, a couple of 2 to 3 weeks. You know, something like that. Depending on how, you know, some people like their coffee really strong, so they add a little bit more. Some people not so strong. But anyway, this specialty coffee that we offered here is like a fine wine, and those who are really into coffee, like this would be very, very, like you wouldn't be drinking Dom Perignon every morning. You know, I don't think.
Be special occasions.
Yeah, something special, something nice, or if you have it, you just enjoy it for that time frame and just savor it, right? So this stuff could normally sell at $120 a pound. I was talking to the grower, and he said, well, look, I can get it to you for $90 a pound. I said, that'd be awesome. I'm just going to pass it on to my customer base. I'm just going to say, hey, I got this opportunity. And so anyway, he said the only thing is, and I don't blame him, and the other growers I talked to are like this too, is that you can't wreck my existing channels. So you can't tell where it's coming from. So that's why we did the Secret Santa. We did it right around holidays.
Wow.
And we said, we guarantee you this is going to be amazing, but we can't tell you which farm it comes from because we can't wreck their existing channel because they're getting 120. So but what I can tell you is that you're going to love it. And we went in, we had tasting notes and yada, yada. And and it sold out in 18 hours.
Well,
wow.
But then you're also being,
you're
pricing it accordingly to where you're not in competition because you're not making really a huge profit.
No, we weren't making anything on that. We just passed it through.
Yeah. So
looking
here, it says
but this is like crazy special stuff.
Limited
normally people wouldn't be buying.
It's like secret society coffee.
Yeah. So $45 basically for half a pound is a crazy amount of money. That's a lot of money.
Now, do you have any of that here today?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
you guys are awesome, but you're not that
awesome. One day,
somewhere over the rainbow.
No, what I did bring though is I brought something that took first place in Hawaii a few years back.
Yeah. So
this is a really
like
really
2017.
Nice
you wanted like pretty much.
I didn't, but it's from the grower who actually won the award. So this is from their farm.
Wow.
Now would that be in?
That's the Maui Mocha.
Okay, let's see. Where would we find that one?
That would be under coffee store, specialty coffee. Just where you were. Just go back where you were.
Okay.
Specialty coffee. Yeah, Hawaiian specialty coffee, and then scroll down, and you'll see a whale's tails. That one right there, where you're sitting right now. That's the whale's tails. Super super nice. It's our most expensive coffee that we have consistently. But again, just amazing. And I'll tell you a little story about this mocha bean, MOKKA, is we can trace the lineage back about 800 years.
800 years?
Yeah, 800 years. And it's been on Hawaii 100 and something. I don't know.
Wow.
But something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's more like 80, but it's been on Hawaii for a while.
That's great.
That having been said, this coffee that goes back 800 years, it actually started in Ethiopia.
Wow.
And it was shipped out of Yemen. So, coffees will go out of different ports. So, like in Indonesia, there's Java, and they call the coffee Java. Mm-hmm. Well, this bean was shipped out of the port of Al-Moka. And so it has really special flavor about it without adding anything to it.
Wow.
It's got these notes of chocolate. And so what
Wow.
would happen is someone would have an Arabica bean from somewhere else, and then say, "Hey, you want to kind of make it taste a little bit like those beans out of Yemen, those mocha beans?" And they'd be, "Yeah, man, and make it taste like a mocha bean." And they'd add a little bit of cocoa powder, a little bit of chocolate powder, not a lot, just a little bit, just a hint.
Mm-hmm.
And so this bean is why you see mocha drinks everywhere,
Wow.
whether it's in Starbucks
Isn't
or whatever.
that trippy?
That is.
Now what's sad is that they, it's like crink, crink, crink. They'll put in 4 pumps of Hershey bar chocolate, and that really. So now mocha means a kind of a sweet, milky, chocolatey drink.
Right.
So they ruined
That's
it.
the way
I think they did, to be honest. I
Yeah.
actually think that whoever that they took something that was amazing, and when
Wow.
we taste this is what I brought. Now you will get notes and hints of chocolate. It ain't going to taste like a Hershey bar. So don't expect it to taste like a Hershey bar. It doesn't.
Of course not.
But like in wine tasting,
That's
you
natural.
can get different.
Right.
So in this, you're going to get tasting notes of chocolate and a little bit of caramel and maybe even a hint of vanilla and some spices. So it's
So
just
then-
a really, but it's super delicate.
So the
Smooth as
natural chocolate, it's like cacao is not
Cacao.
yeah.
Yeah, cacao and let me see. There's
If you,
cocoa.
they wouldn't put it in coffee, right?
Who?
Cacao.
What do you mean?
wouldn't put it in a coffee mix.
sure,
like,
you put
I
anything in
wouldn't put
coffee.
it. I wouldn't put it in this one.
Yeah.
Again, I kind of use a Dom Perignon. It's like I wouldn't make a mimosa out of Dom Perignon.
Right.
I wouldn't add orange juice.
Or in
to
my
Dom
drinking
Perignon.
days, I
You
think I
could.
would.
So
Yeah.
let me see if I get this correctly. This 800-year-old
Lineage. Yeah,
bean
yeah.
lineage.
Yeah.
So the
I don't know
DNA
if that's
and
the
the
right-
the genes and the
Yes.
genetics of it have lasted over 800 years.
Yeah.
And inherently inside of this bean, it automatically has the hints of what
Yes.
got bastardized for us to think now in the modern day that mocha is chocolate
Yeah.
flavored sweetness, when actually originally comes from mocha, MOKKA.
Yeah.
Yeah, not MOCHA, mocha. That's
Mocha.
just
This
that
is-
is the westernized way.
Yeah.
Of,
And I don't know, maybe the spelling here might have been modified. So this is a Maui mocha. Now, having been said, it's the hybrid of 2 other beans. I won't get into that because I don't want to get people get
Sure.
confused. But it's known as Maui mocha, and Kimo Faulkner is the one who really has taken this thing and put it on the map. And it's one of my favorite beans that grows in Hawaii.
Now, this is not something that, I mean, for you, since you own a, coffee place,
Yeah.
you can have this every morning.
Yeah.
But as far as like price-wise, if you're really, really into coffee and you're a connoisseur, you'd be trying a bunch of different coffees anyways. You wouldn't be just like
Without a
sticking
doubt.
to one. You
Yeah,
you go like,
yeah.
ooh, we're going to try this one today.
Yeah.
Take a sip of this. And
Check
then,
this one out. Yeah.
and next month, this one's coming. It'll be ready. And so it becomes like you're a sommelier, but instead of with
I
wine,
love that analogy. Yeah.
with
I really like
coffee.
that. Yeah.
And I'm not that knowledgeable about it, but I did enjoy this cup of coffee. And
so put the
man,
label that side. Yeah.
Well, we do super affordable roasts too. So it's like so far we've looked at only our really high end expensive stuff, but we do very affordable value price coffee. And it's amazing, and again, when you just get quality coffee beans, it really stands out. So we have down on the another section, it's blends underneath the coffee store, Hawaiian coffee blends. And these are awesome. So we've got like the Hana Happiness.
Nice
is
backdrop. I like that. The middle with the house behind.
Hana
it.
Yeah.
Happiness blend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably know where that is. You've probably been there.
That's not Hana, right?
Well,
Wait.
the
That
let
looks
me
like
see.
the south
in
side.
the middle. The Ohana Special Blend
Hmm.
is actually it's Terravesa. Is that the name of the place?
Oh, Tavesa.
Tervesa, yeah.
Tavesa.
Well, over in Hana.
Yeah, yeah. Wow,
I don't know
that's a
Hana
nice,
very well.
Yeah. Is that Honomanu or Hamo? That's in Kaanapali, that third picture.
I think it's Kaanapali.
Yeah, looks like it.
Anyway,
Yeah. Hana Happiness Coffee Blend. At home, we don't have the luxury of having quality coffees because me and my wife, we just, hey, Christmas time you get
yeah.
gifts, right?
Yeah,
And the ones that we don't
Sanka folder.
rewrap and give to
Remember those?
Hey, but you know what? I mean,
gotta edit
I
that
think
out.
coffee is a lot like wine in a lot of cases. Is that you know, there's some folks who, you know, wine snobs. And it's like, oh, if it's not this much. And the truth is, if you like it, it's good.
Yeah.
You know, if you like the wine, then shut up. It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
If you like it, and that's the way coffee should be. It's like you don't have to be spending a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
You just got to find something you like.
Yeah.
And
and if you get turned on to it, you're like, oh,
like,
this doesn't.
wow.
This is coffee. It's
Yeah.
like doesn't taste like Sanka at all.
Yeah. Not folders.
You know, the other thing, and, you know, a lot of people like to, you know, poo-poo on a, well, I don't mean the Hawaiian poo-poo, like little things to eat.
Yeah.
I'm talking about,
Dissing.
Kind of dissing.
Yeah.
Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I really don't like Starbucks. I think the coffee is not good.
Mm-hmm.
But when
I agree.
when Starbucks first started out, the coffee actually was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And when their volume, they kept getting more and more volume, more and more volume, more. And so just like if you take McDonald's, right, and you're in Bangkok and you get a Big Mac, and then you go to London, you get a Big Mac, they're going to taste pretty much the same because that's the brand. It needs to taste like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Starbucks. Now, how do you get coffees from all over the world? How do you get them to taste kind of the same?
All year round.
You got to roast all the way down to almost coal. And we talk about, depending on the varietal that we have, we roast to perfection. So each varietal is going to have different flavors. One's going to be nutty, and others might be a little bit fruity, depending on how you processed it. But then when you roast it, you want to roast to perfection for that bean or that blend that you're going to make. And so what Starbucks did, and I would have done the same thing if I was a CEO and strategy guy, is they would take beans from all over the world, and as you keep roasting darker and darker and darker, you start peeling off these flavors. This flavor goes away, that nutty flavor goes away, yada yada yada, until you're kind of ended with something that's coffee-like. And so that's why Starbucks will taste the same all over the world, because they roast so much that you can't tell one varietal from the other. So so that's kind of the reason Starbucks tastes the way it tastes, and that's the reason they go so dark.
When you're talking about when we're roasting, do you have a roaster on premises?
No, we don't. I don't. We actually use Maui Oma. We use a couple of different roasters for different things, but Maui Oma here in Kahului, they're our main roaster, and we love them to death. Love them to death. Great folks, super experts. Comes to roasting, so
great.
Yeah, they're really good.
So Dave, I'm looking here that you do have guidelines and PDFs that people can print out if they need help, and
so like the
how to brew a
Hawaiian
single
homebrew.
cup.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to demonstrate the Hawaiian homebrew today.
Okay, cool.
I like that.
Now what I did, I brought so what does Hawaiian? You know, that's another cool Hawaiian. What's Hawaiian mean? Like, what do you mean a Hawaiian homebrew? Well,
it's locale.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got an example of Hawaiian here. Like this is a quality folder. It's a quality folder, right? Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But, and I'm gonna actually, Brian, this is coming to you, and it's got the Hawaiian homebrew method, and it's got another overview that I wrote on how to, just how to brew coffee and stuff like that.
Wow,
awesome.
But the thing that makes my version of Hawaiian is this 50% off. Now that's value price, right? That's value, right?
I like that.
It's a quality folder.
Yeah,
But you know what? It's 50% off, man. That's awesome.
Give me two.
From the dollar store, 50 cents.
So my Hawaiian homebrew, the way I do it is I'm showing people where all you need is basically a cup and a filter, and some coffee.
And that's it.
And some water, and you're good to go. So there's all these really expensive brew things and this and that, and you push this button and it,
gadgets, right?
It does all this crazy stuff, right? Yeah. Man, you don't need that. But you can have it. And
it's fun, it's fun.
But the great thing about coffee is that you can make an amazing, and I'm going to show you guys. You can make an amazing cup of coffee with just a cup and a filter and some grounds.
It's good for camping, huh?
Can we pause for a second, because I want to get a really good shot of this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, all good.
But you guys can continue.
Hey, Dave, this is wow. You really spend a lot of cents and quarters on this paperwork. I owe you like $6, man. Making coffee doesn't get much simpler.
I thought
than
you'd
this.
get a kick out of that 50%.
I know. Wait, this from the dollar store, so you got like 8 of them.
I don't want to offend anybody, but I think the whole reason I did that, the whole reason I created that document was just to show people just how simple it can be to make a cup of coffee. That it doesn't really need to be super complicated. You don't have to have a $4,000 machine. You can take literally a device and brew your coffee into it. And there. So you want me to get rolling? You want me to start?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So one of the key things about coffee is your water temperature.
Okay.
And what I'll tell folks is you really want it just off of boiling. You don't want it boiling at like 212 degrees, but you want it just off. So somewhere around 200 degrees is pretty good. And folks will be like, well, I don't have a thermometer. What do you mean? How do I know? And I said, well, if you want to just do it fast, just get it to boiling, or get it, in the microwave even. You can put it in the microwave. Get it to boiling. And then set it out and just let it set for about 20 or 30 seconds, and it'll be off the boil. It won't be at 212. It'll probably be close to around 200. The other key factor is depending on the brew that you're doing, which we're going to do almost, which is like a French press. It's like a kind of a hybrid, is your time. So as you brew your coffee, when you put that hot water to it, it starts extracting things out. Right in the very beginning, the flavonoids will come out, and all these, the goodness will start oozing out. And then towards the end, the caffeine is starting to kind of make its way out, and the oils and all these various things. So if you leave your coffee, if you let it brew too long, for like an hour, it's just not going to taste. It's going to be bitter. It's going to be horrible. What we found is a number to start off with. A good time is about 4 minutes with this type of a brew. So what I'm going to do is I've got one of these filters, and I did have them. They were kind of pre-soaked. They're still kind of damp, but I did that because if you think about as you're like doing your coffee and you pour in your water and this and that, the paper is going to soak up some of that coffee, and it's going to soak up the oils and that sort of stuff. So if you can pre-wet it a little bit, you're actually going to save it from those oils getting soaked up in the paper, and all that goodness is going to come through. So this isn't normally it's kind of dripping wet, but I brought it here and yada yada. So what I'm going to do is I got the coffee. I got the coffee kind of pre-measured here, and I'm shooting for about 28 to 30 grams. And what that means, when you get ground coffee, it's basically a couple of scoops of this. This is a standard coffee scoop, 1 tablespoon. They always say you need about 2 tablespoons. So that's what this is. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour this into here. And again, I've got a cup and a paper filter, and it's really not any more complicated than that. And then this guy over here. What do we do?
It leaked?
No, I just.
Oh, that smells great.
I know you can smell it already, right? You want to give it a whiff?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I can smell it.
No, it's awesome. This is really, really good coffee. Okay, so we got that, and
the whole room's just like aromatic.
Yeah, I know, right?
Aerobatic.
So I got this just off
Acrobatic.
the boil. What I'm going to do, So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put in a little bit of water. And there's this thing called a bloom, which is, you can't really see it, but what happens is the coffee, when it's super fresh, sorry about that. So when it's super fresh, it's going to bloom. And those are the gases that you get from the roast. So roast creates a CO2 gas. And what this does is it just kind of lets that off of there. And I know about how much liquid I need to make this guy work. So we got that a little bit. The bloom's already happened, and I usually like to give it a stir here, and we're good to go.
It's a coffee day, brother.
Yeah,
it is a coffee day.
Now we're going to start off with 4 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to hit 4 minutes, and now we got to let it do its thing. Now, if you're really nerdy about it, which I tend to be, I would put something over the top of this just to kind of keep it, keep that heat in there. So I'm just going to do this right here.
We can put a coaster.
We're good. Sure, yeah. It's not important, but it just kind of helps. You can see how it kind of steams up a little bit. So we're just going to let this do its thing.
Man,
and again, it didn't, if you notice, I mean, it wasn't like we had, this Keurig and then all these cups.
Have you ever seen that show, Green Hornet, with Seth Rogen and
oh, I did.
Where Kato has this coffee machine that he made, and
yeah,
and he has to have his coffee, and it's just so cool with the moving parts and but
Yeah.
I'm really liking this method because obviously you've done it many times.
Yeah.
And you know how much water. So it's a fun thing.
What I really like about this is it can come out great every single time. And there are different brew methods. Like they actually have worldwide competitions for baristas to make cups of coffee. There's one called an AeroPress, which is kind of a combination between this and a little bit of pressure that gets applied to the coffee for the extraction. So some people think it's a little bit like an espresso machine, like a manual espresso machine, but it's not. It's really more. It's really all about.
So strength-wise, this is pretty strong.
This is going to be pretty straightforward. You can even tell, the brew. It's not that dark right now, but more than anything, what it does is it just gives it a great. It just gets so like all these flavors. It's
like a dark semi Guinness beer.
So nice. Yeah, there you go. But I love this stuff, and I like doing it like this because it's just so simple, and it just comes up with a really nice, wonderful, smooth cup of coffee. Hopefully, I'm not.
So, Dave, when nitro coffee came out with the infused nitro, what's your thoughts? Was that when it first came out? Because it was pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, and it's still kind of big. I mean, I do like the mouthfeel that nitro gives to the cold brew.
Yeah.
I tend to like a New Orleans style cold brew too, though, which is more of a kind of, it has a little more acidic, almost more like a traditional iced coffee. I really like that.
Yeah, I used to drink iced coffee.
But if you're looking for cold brew, one of the things that people will find is cold brew is very, very smooth. In fact, it almost tastes like it's been underbrewed. But don't let that fool you.
Oh, man,
cold brew, it has a kick.
That sucker got a big
got
kick.
Caffeine,
Yeah, it's like a shotgun, man.
But it's so smooth, and the reason is because of it's that cold water extraction. So it doesn't cause those oils and those acids to come out to where hot water actually releases that. Personally, I really like that hot water coffee kind of mouthfeel and flavor. But what they started doing with cold brew was having a nitrogen infused into it. So it kind of gives it a little bit thicker.
And you don't have to use any ice or anything. You're just using the infused.
Yeah, you just bring it out of the keg, and it infuses it with nitrogen. And then you let it'll be all milky, looking, and then you let it set. And then
it looks like beer.
Yeah, and I'll actually call it tigering up. So it you see these lines as the nitrogen bubbles float to the top, and then you get this little creamy head on top. It's like a Guinness beer in a way, the way it looks.
Because when it first came out, there's those two guys was selling it. I think in Oregon or someplace, but they was making a killing, man.
Oh yeah. Well, we have it at the cafe, and those who like it love it. Okay, so I think we're done here.
So look at this in this picture up here on the screen. Of course, you're not putting the beans; you're putting ground, right?
Yeah. So those are the beans before they get ground.
Okay.
And we tell people what to shoot for in terms of gram. Oh, this is actually an interesting. That's about the size of the grinds that you would like that are perfect for this. We call it a coarse grind, and I put the penny there so you can kind of tell. It's a little bit bigger than table salt, not quite the same as a rock salt. So now what's going to happen? And I haven't really done it in this cup before, but I usually do it in a cup where it just sets.
That cup after that is going to be for us, right?
Yeah, we're going to do a little taste.
So we're going to keep it here.
So what I did, if you want. So wait, not the cup, a little one. This is crazy.
This is so cool that and this on your on the website.
Yeah.
The PDF is just so awesome. If you guys go on the website, you can get like step by step what Dave's doing right in front of us in quality photos. And
we got the guide, man.
Well, in fact, I'm gonna drop some of these photos in our episode in post editing.
Hey, Arlie, thank you for doing that, man. I really appreciate it. Man. You're such a king editor.
Now, one of the things I tell people when they're at this point, don't be greedy. Because what I used to do, I would actually kind of squeeze. I'd kind of squeeze it a little bit, try and get as much as I can out, and then it pops, and then you're like, oh no, and now you got grounds.
Okay.
So the whole purpose of this filter is to keep the grounds out of the coffee. So don't be greedy. You don't necessarily have to get every single little drop out, but
a little squeeze without breaking it wouldn't break the rules.
Which is what I do. So thank you, ma'am. Okay, cool. So I'll put this here. All right, so we're basically ready to roll.
Okay,
now,
I got my shot glass. Hold on.
All right, I actually have three little cups for us here. So,
Dave, we really appreciate it, man. You coming from the west side to the east side
awesome,
to do this, man.
I'm glad to do it.
Appreciate it so much.
Oh, steam.
And all you subscribers out there in TV land, we're here at the RiFF Wailuku with Brother Dave and his concoction of this incredible coffee from Cafe Cafe on Lahainaluna Road. You see it?
What it looks like there. There you go, Lahainaluna Road.
Yeah. There we go. Look at that shots, baby.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's party time.
It reminds me
This
of.
wasn't really just.
This is like, man, if you had a lab coat on right now, and
right? It's crazy.
He's a chemist, man. He's a chemist.
Engineer by trade.
I am,
Brother, look at this, man.
I can't wait.
Bro, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk after this.
Now, these are just tastes, right?
Okay.
But you really wouldn't want to have a 24 ounce of this.
Why? Why, Dave?
Because it's just like, oh man, how do I say
Wait,
it?
I'm gonna
Like,
go.
doing a 24 ounce of this. I mean, it's not like you're going to get wiped out, but like, would you just drink a whole bottle of, your favorite bourbon? Just drink the whole thing? Like, no, man, you enjoy it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so coffee really, quality coffee like this should be about 6 to 8 ounces. Really no more than that. You can do more, but in truth, you just want to enjoy it.
So do we? I'm sorry to interrupt, but do we want to do a test slurp?
That's what we're going to do. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you guys to have your pinky out when you hold it. I want you to do your little pinky, right? I want it to be all nice.
Take a sip of your.
Well, good day, lad.
Yeah, a cup of joe. But anyway, the thing is, I want you to first, like wine, I want you to smell it. Do the bouquet.
Okay.
I'll pass out the
Here you
cups,
go.
and then we'll go through our your coaching.
Okay, here you go, baby. Right, here you go.
Watch mahalo.
All righty, cool.
Hold on now.
Now,
let me get in the scene.
Yeah, I don't want you to drink it yet. I don't want you to taste it yet, but I want you to. And we got these specific little cups, if you will, so that you can just get your nose right down in there, and really give it a whiff. So I want you to really kind of really give it a good sniff. Get your nose down in there. Get that bouquet.
Do I have to hold one nose or just the two?
No, you're no, it ain't like that.
Oh.
No, you're not.
No, because I gotta ask.
You're not taking in
this
anything.
is from Colombia,
You're
right?
just smelling it at this point. Good Lord, where'd you get this guy? Where in the world? It's like he's a kid from the 80s or something.
I picked him up on Luakini Street.
All right,
okay,
so
here we go.
Do a little sniffy sniff first.
Sniffy sniff.
And kind of like a dog, you know how a dog, that kind of like that.
Wow.
Now, and there is no wrong answer. What's the first flavor, if you will, jumps in your mind from that? I could throw something out.
I would say a slight floral.
A floral.
Nutty.
I'll tell you what I get. Nutty is there. I actually get leather.
Yeah.
I get the smell.
Yes.
Leather.
Yes. Leather.
Leather.
Yeah,
man.
it's like Louis Vuitton. Yeah.
And then I also get, close your eyes. It's actually great to do it when you're sniffing. Close your eyes. I also get kind of a barley or a wheat, something like that. Kind of a
Barley, wheat. Yep, got
and
you.
I don't mean grassy like the grass when they cut the green grass. Not that grassy, but more of kind of a wheat or a barley.
I smell like edamame beans.
Okay. So anyway, now you've kind of got the bouquet. You know kind of what might be in there.
Yeah.
So you've kind of, there's this little bit of a leathery smell about it.
Sweet.
You've got a little bit of floral.
Sweet floral kind of.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what I think that is kind of that spice that's coming out, because there's kind of this little spice going on. And then when you now that you've got your bouquet and you've kind of smelled what you think might be in there, when you go to take the taste, again, I'd really like you to slurp it. Close your eyes. Don't even really, but do a slurp. Close your eyes and let it go from the front to the back. And I'll kind of show you. I kind of go like this, and I aspirate. Aspirating actually helps those flavors get across your tongue. So it's kind of like this. So I slurped it in, and then I kind of, brought it back over, and I let it roll over my whole tongue.
Okay, B, you try first. Go ahead.
Slurp it. There you go, and there you go. Now, let it roll back over your tongue. Taste that chocolate. Can you taste it?
Let me try.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
It's crazy.
Give it a shot. And this is called what again?
This is the Maui Mocha.
Maui
We
Mocha.
call it whale's tails at Old Lahaina Coffee.
Do it.
Over the back part of the tongue, you should taste those chocolate notes.
Bring the microphone closer.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and now what'll happen is if you had a cup of coffee, now, again, you're not going to be, every morning Ruthie thinks I'm a nutbag because every coffee I have, and she's just like, you
just changed my life. So when I go back to your store, it's going to take me 3 hours to finish a cup, man.
No, that's
I dig it.
initial. Yeah.
Once you kind of go through it.
No, this is great.
Then just start drinking it the way you normally would. Once you kind of get those flavors and you know what to look for.
Amazing.
Wait.
Now what'll happen is if you drink it like a regular cup, you're going to taste those notes of nut. You're going to get a little more of a nutty flavor, and that's going to be on kind of the middle part of your tongue.
This is very
I like it.
it's not as bold as I thought it was.
Oh, it's
gonna
delicate.
Be.
This is super delicate.
Wow.
Super delicate. Yeah.
We call it a Sunday morning coffee.
Okay.
It's a a wedding, wedding celebration coffee. This is a very, very delicate.
This is
wonderful,
a sexy coffee,
but
man. This is romantic,
it's got
man.
all these flavors that are just like they just blow you away.
So now, so the method that you just did right now, to make this for us,
Mocha coffee.
Yeah, the Maui Mocha
is different than if you would go into the Lahaina coffee. I mean, the Cafe Cafe is a different method.
We make it basically the same,
but in bigger portions.
We have brewing devices. They're basically a French press is what we get you.
Okay.
And if you're looking for the great thing about that, I think that we do that's really unique. And I'm not one to talk down other shops. I don't believe in it. I think every shop has its own value, and I think there's a lot of amazingly wonderful coffee here on Maui, and so I don't want to be like, oh, we're the best, like that's goofy, right? That's just silly. I believe a rising tide raises all boats, and I believe strongly that every coffee shop can be amazing if they want to use good beans. But what we do that is kind of unique compared to a lot of other shops is we do 100% Maui beans through our espresso machine. Now that's expensive. So I'm obviously not in this to make a killing. It's expensive to do that. And then the other thing we do, which is cool, is the various varietals. So we have 100% red Katawai, which is another kind of varietal, amazing varietal here on Maui. It's known as the Cabernet of coffee. So it's just like it's just got all these.
Look at that! You see, look at that, man. Yeah. There's so many different words or Cabernet of coffee.
Yeah, but it's much bolder. It'll be more of kind of, and that's really my everyday. I love the red cat. But what we do is that, and you can start drinking it normal now if you want. I mean,
you're just showing off now.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you don't want me to squeeze your brain, right?
But we do French presses of each varietal, so you can go in and get a Maui Mocha. You can get a red Katawai. There's another bean out there. It's not a varietal, but it's known as a pea berry. And I won't bore you guys with why a pea berry is a pea berry, but they're quite rare. You don't find pea berry around, and we've got it, and you can actually have a cup of it if you want, and we brew it French press style because that's really the most consistent way to make an amazing cup of coffee.
You know how when you have wine tasting, have you ever been to a wine tasting thing? See, on Maui, there's a club, and we went to one, not on purpose. We just happened to be eating dinner at this place, and they had a wine tasting, so we kind of joined in. And there's different ways you can look at this wine tasting event. You know,
kind of pretentious, maybe.
Yeah.
Or-
Well,
Who are these goofballs?
there's different ways you can participate.
Yeah.
Also in a wine tasting, you
Sure.
could just like or you can go.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know, depends. Would you have any kind of event like that? Because I noticed that you do have events.
Yeah.
Where you could like sample.
Yeah.
And with with the current situation that the world's in,
All right.
how is that affecting these kind of events that you put
Well,
on?
we used to have things where growers or roasters would come in and do like tastings and flights and what we call a cupping. So what I did for you guys, it's not really a cupping. A cupping is a professional. It's what the folks in the industry will have these things called Q graders, like these quality graders, and like you really have to have it together to be a Q grader. And you can taste a cup of coffee, but they go through this whole process where they brew it and they pour it, and it's still the grounds are in there. Like I strip the grounds out for you, but they just do it grounds and all, and then they smell, and then they break it, and then they do a sip and all this stuff. We didn't really do that. We did almost more like a tasting and not really a pure cupping.
Yeah.
But we've had that, we've done that. But now with COVID, it's kind of tough to have people do that. So I'm starting to do some things over Zoom now. So I'm starting to do little tastings and flavor. And we've done some things where I've actually gotten, so people who have ordered coffee from us, I put in samples. And so, and we put in a little note. It's like, hey, on yada 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 date,
Great.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I throw the sample in, so they get a bag of this or that, and we throw in a sample. And
Then
say,
you host it, and it's like, okay, here we go, guys.
here we go, everybody.
Wow, that's a great
Here's
idea.
how you brew it. Here's what you do. Yeah.
Can you please keep us posted when something
sure.
like that
Yeah.
happens? Because
Without a doubt.
we'd like to kind of promote that and get a lot of people showing up for that. And me and my wife, we love coffee.
Nice.
I learned a lot more than I knew from today, so thank you
Good.
for that. And one other thing I'm looking at, you were talking
my
about
God,
the
that's
Cabernet of coffee, which is the red.
Red Catawai.
Right. Now, the champagne of coffees.
That's what we've got right now.
This is what we're trying
That's
right
what
now.
we're doing, and
Hey,
that's
B,
why I said it's super delicate.
This is the champagne of coffees right here.
Wait, hold on. Let me do that.
and we're not talking Miller High Life
Yeah.
kind of champagne.
Yeah.
Don't.
So, Dave, you picked the
I never hear that for freaking 50 years.
you picked the top for us here on the
This
riff.
is-
Tried
and
to, yeah.
I tell you, man, this is. Hey,
is awesome.
cheers, man, you
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing. Now, I specifically made this what might be considered a little bit lighter. So if you like your coffee a little bit stronger, a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, you can do that. But what I did was I did this, what we call the golden ratio of water to grounds. And the great thing about that is it gives you, it allows you to really taste all the flavors, because the more, if you put in a lot more coffee, then what you're going to get out of that cup is whatever the most dominant flavor is. So if you put in a whole bunch, that's why if you got bad beans and it's like, and you just keep adding more and more coffee, it's just going to taste bad.
Bad beans.
It's just going to taste bad.
Bad grains.
It's like that, so you can never make bad coffee taste great. But I specifically kept the ratio so that we could taste all the flavor notes. You could taste a touch of berry, a touch of nut.
That's amazing.
A little
But
bit of caramel.
That's the way to do it, though. If you're doing an actual tasting, the golden ratio that you does that work with every coffee bean, ground bean?
Pretty much, and
Okay.
it kind of sets the bar, and it allows you to know what that bean is capable of. A lot of folks will do this when they do they'll do a cupping. So all coffee beans are roasted to a certain. They're roasted in a certain way for a cupping. So you can have this varietal, and they're all roasted a certain way. Well, that roast may not be perfect for that varietal. But what the cupping does is it gives you a bar. It gives you a standard bar to know what might be there. And then you can start roasting and playing around, and then you can mess with your brew, like how you're doing the brewing. Like you'd be surprised that, like I say, just go for around 200 degrees water. But if you have your water like at 95 degrees or 92 degrees, or 108 degrees, it can change the way that
So
coffee
that's a
comes
chemist.
out.
Well, the variations
man.
are, and the combination, the variations is limitless to your imagination and your taste buds. And if there was someone, which I'm sure there has been, and there must be a book
Oh yeah.
with all of their notes on the tastings, the degrees, and the
Yeah.
combinations. So I'm sure you have a book hidden somewhere. Maybe
I've got some notes.
yeah, I imagine. But we're kind of coming up on the hour, which is kind of mind-boggling to me because
Wow.
the time just kind
It
of
went
Oh,
so
look how
fast.
fast. No, it's like
Right?
2
and
minutes.
we
man.
didn't even talk about your your stint with the circus.
Oh yeah, that one. The one where I would push that little thread spool across the floor. Yeah, that was a great big one. Yeah, me and those tigers, man. We got into it.
Wow,
A few
look
times.
at his knife. He killed the tiger
That's
with
right.
this.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, son.
No, man, I'm just so happy you came and it's great to meet you.
Yeah, brother
to meet
Dave.
you, man.
Much mahalo,
But
man.
can-
Yes.
Can we get you to come back and talk about like
Like in 3 hours?
yeah, man, yeah, we could.
Well, let's just go have a beer break. And
Come back and change the subject,
Yeah.
but the subjects are many, I'm sure.
we'll do a double header.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, Arlie. I mean, yeah.
do you have any what can we
Wait.
what
Oh,
can
my
our
God.
subscribers and your friends and all of us and your fans and your followers look forward to, or what you're gonna be up to? Anything like crazy? You're gonna do something with the at the shop?
You
or-
mean like lately? Not
like-
really. We're just trying to make it through COVID. We just want things to get back to somewhat
yeah.
normal,
Right.
if possible.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's really kind of going on right now, it doesn't have anything to do with coffee, is we've got Cinnamon Roll Sunday.
Yeah.
And,
Talk about that. Talk
it's
about it real
just
quick.
It's crazy. I wanted something to kind of build up Sundays, and I wanted something to brighten people's week, right? Like you go through a week of COVID and all this stuff. So I just thought, you know what? Sundays should be a nice day. So I started making
Cinnamon Roll Sunday.
cinnamon rolls. So I started making my grandmother's recipe for
Okay.
cinnamon rolls.
Wow.
And it's taken off. It's gone crazy.
No, it's been unreal.
Like
Yeah.
I can't keep up now.
That would be a reason to go out to the west side.
Yeah.
Right? For the,
Hey, Dave, I gotta
So
ask
they
you.
sell out by 11. Like I started
By
making,
11, yeah.
I started making one pan. Now I'm up to like 6 pans that
Dave,
I'm
what-
making, and they're gone. They just go.
okay, so we gotta.
One Sunday.
What time
can
do you
we,
open
can we
on
plan
Sunday?
Can we plan a Sunday where we have live music? Just one
Yes.
Sunday. Can we do
Yes.
that?
Any Sunday, whatever you want to do. That'd
Okay,
be
because just to let you know that my brother here, Arlie, I want him to play there.
awesome. Oh my
'Cause
God.
yeah, he's unbelievable.
that would
Ukulele.
be crazy.
Yeah. So
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So maybe
That would be
can he do it one Sunday? Or-
Yeah. We'll get a whole area set up.
Okay, so I'm saying let's do a Sunday. Let's hook you up because I work on a Sunday, but I want you to play at Dave's place.
Well,
I would love to.
We used to
We'll
have
figure it out.
we used to
Okay,
have a lot
sounds
of
good.
folks come in, and they would be folks who come in on the island, and
Yeah.
and they'd say, "Hey, Dave, is there a chance I might be able to play?" I'm like,
Oh man,
if you want."
you could be blown away
But
with
the
this
deal,
guy.
what's crazy is that these folks, like they would just get to the island, they wouldn't really have any gigs, they wouldn't have
Yeah.
anything going on,
Yeah.
or maybe they just wanted to get better. They just wanted to play in front of an audience. So anyway, I was thinking of changing our name because what would happen, like this one, a few people, but this one gal in particular, Kendall, she is awesome.
Oh yeah,
You know Kendall, right?
Oh, she's
Shoo.
fucking off
She's
the
great.
charts.
She played at the cafe a lot.
Yeah, she's
And,
off the charts, man.
I was thinking of changing the name to the Stepping Stone Cafe because they start off at the cafe
like
and then
that.
they go to the Ritz.
Wow.
And then, it's
I like that.
They start
Yeah.
off at some little
Yeah,
tiny
I played with her a few times. She's fantastic.
Stepping Stone or
Yeah.
maybe the Hideout because we're not on Front Street. So people will, we're
Yeah, you're
kinda
not on
tucked-
Dickinson. You're on Lahainaluna Road. That's
But
right.
no, we're Cafe Cafe. Name's
Well, you know
Cafe
what?
Cafe.
So, Arlie, we see you on Sunday at Cafe Cafe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
don't
rip
know,
it.
I don't know what Sunday,
We'll
but
do it.
but
Yeah,
thank
we'll
you for
know.
the invite.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
find out.
yeah. This Sunday, I'll see you there.
So, by the way, thanks for inviting your friend Dave. Dave, what's your last name?
Douglas, Doeglas.
Mahalo, Dave Douglas.
My name
Cafe
is
Cafe
last name
Maui.
is
guys.
Manzano. Yeah, by the way. Okay.
And you guys all have a great day.
Woo!
Mahalo
The riff! Brother!
Mahalo.
Bro, I told you you get freaking fun here, man.
Great time.